Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. So this is Business Express 981. It's on Smooth 98.1 as a part of Smooth Breakfast. Hello, Rotus. Good morning.
Good morning, Valentine. Good morning, Lagos. And good morning to all Djokovic and Naomi Osaka fans this morning. We're going to have a good week.
Yes, we will.
Very good week,
We will. Lagos, we're joined this morning by Janeth and Damilola, both from ARM, this morning to have this conversation with us. Welcome, guys.
Good morning, Valentine. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning.
Good morning, Janet. Lagos, the conversation is very interesting. It's going to be very interesting, but it'd be more interesting if you join us by sending in messages. Let us know your comments on the stories that you'll be sharing this morning. Send it through WhatsApp to 0809 444 0981. You can also tweet at us at Smooth981FM. Use that hashtag Business Express 91.
Thank you so much. So, Friday, the markets are pretty good. 1.4% appreciation, 31,426 points is where we closed. 11.7 trillion naira market cap. Diamond Bank led the way. Diamond Bank is now at 2 naira 31 kobo. Wow, 10% appreciation. Total was up in there. FCMB, Wema Bank, Fidelity, Access Bank. Some banks did okay. As far as the top loser, it was Equity Assurance. They were down by 9%. Hopping into the news of the day. This is actually news on Friday, I believe, or was it even Saturday? No, Friday. The president has signed an executive order, which he calls Executive Order 7. On road infrastructure development that is supposed to allow private entities to construct roads across our great nation. Can we shed a little more light on this? What are we looking at with this executive order that he signed?
Well, yeah. So what's involved here is, the government gets to partner with some of these companies, and it's something that is quite necessary when you look at advanced economies. It's not just the government or the public entities that would usually take on this kind of projects. So having private entities on board, is definitely a positive development. And I mean, the details there say that the companies will be paid back over a period, taking on tax credits.
Okay.
So it's more like they construct and then they get some tax credits in return for for taking on most of this project.
All right. So thank you for that, Janet. The companies that have been highlighted here, they're saying, of course, Dangote Industries, Lafarge, Unilever, Flour Mills, Nigeria LNG Limited, and I guess China Road and Bridge Corporation. How do we expect companies to react to this? Do we think there's going to be a surge in these companies that decide to take advantage of this order? Because they're going to be spending their money.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's also the option of taking on some loans if you're not already highly leveraged. I mean, the likes of Lafarge is definitely not a good option, taking on more loans, considering what they are now. But the likes of Dangote definitely have the cash to be able to handle this.
Right.
And we've seen something similar from 2017 where Dangote actually took on, road construction, and there was said to be a deal on the table to get on some tax credits. So that was definitely positive. But on the short term, you'd see this as perhaps a strain. And considering they're not getting their cash back literally, they're not getting tax credits. So, but I mean, on the longer term, I'm looking at it from a broader perspective. Most of these companies, likes of Dangote, Lafarge, they have plants all over across Nigeria. So, they do need this. They need this good roads to actually take on, to be able to effectively, carry on their businesses.
Right.
The likes of when you have to consider our road, the infrastructural deficit that we have on ground.
Right.
The African Development Bank estimates that $3 trillion over the next 6 years. We have a capex of 2 trillion naira per year. So, it's definitely not impossible for the government to take this on its own, given the 6-year period. So I believe it's a positive development. And then when you also have to consider the fact that, I mean, if you have to look at this, who gets most of the, where this positive lie, it's for the cement company like Tungsten, for instance, where, we could get the cement to carry on some of its projects. So, yeah, that's my opinion.
Dami, what took so long with the government doing this? I mean, this sounded like something that, should have been done. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think at the start of the administration, Buhari is comfortable, just running the show himself. But I think probably he's having very good advisors this time, because if you ask me, I think the government is the biggest winner in this transaction, knowing fully well that the capex, they usually fall short of their capital expenditure.
Right.
I think on average, they've been doing between 25 to 30% of their total capital expend, for that particular fiscal year.
Okay.
So with the private guys coming on board, probably we'll see more infrastructures. More infrastructural works going on in the country, which is positive for them in attracting foreign investment into Nigeria.
Okay, well, this came from businesses. So they're saying Dangote, alongside other sector players, are set to invest in 19 road projects measuring 794 kilometers, which have been prioritized in just 11 states across the 6 geopolitical zones. Guys, what about rail? I mean, we keep talking about the traffic situation in particularly Lagos. I know it's not just Lagos facing this, and this fact that if you think about oil and all these other tankers transporting goods up and down, there's still the emphasis on rail, though. Yeah, that's still something that we have to look at.
Yeah, very true. I think it's big, and to some extent, I'll commend the current administration. Over the past 4 years, we've seen some rail projects, particularly in the north, being constructed. So I think the government understands the need for alternative transportation, routes, and they've been doing a lot to shore up that area. But I think rather than just partnering with private guys on roads, I think we should also see this sort of partnership, on other, water transport, rail transport, and all of that. It will really improve our current economic climate.
All right. Well, let's see how that goes. Okay, moving from road infrastructure to treasury bills. This is it's something that some chatter that we heard. I believe it was over the weekend or even on Friday as well. That's about foreign investors are rumored to have pumped in about $1 billion into our treasury bill space. So, what are your thoughts as far as what you're seeing there?
Well, for us, we don't know how true that news is, but what we know is we've been seeing flashes of buy from foreign clients, and it's not surprising to us actually, because when you look at the activities of foreign portfolio investors over the last half of 2018, it has been showing, rather than general contagion in emerging markets. So what we've been seeing is foreign portfolio investors are selective, in their investment destination. So I'm not surprised, but with election coming on board, I don't know yet, because even last week, treasury bill yields closed higher. So if indeed we saw 1 billion, buy in our treasury bills, we should see treasury bill yields, come down. But we didn't really see that, so probably it will come into the market over a period of time. But I think it's positive, and foreign investors are just pricing in the fact that I think the election is clear. We know the biggest contenders are, and probably for some of them they're just comfortable, that the results will not be
chaotic,
chaotic and all of that.
Okay.
So I think that's why we are saying this. But in the market, as regards market and movement on treasury bill yields, we've not seen the impact yet.
Okay. Gbenga Kamo sent an interesting message. He said he hopes the roads that are being built will not be tolled. I've got some flack for this in the past, because I support roads being tolled. And a lot of people,
would you be surprised if they are?
Well, guys, what do you think? Because how do these roads pay for them? Gbenga, thank you for that message. How do these roads pay for themselves? You have to toll the roads, yes? So where do you guys stand on this?
Well, for that, another thing that even just flashed through my mind is when you consider where the government stands, we have lower oil prices. We have to, they've also been going quite constructive or quite creative in the way they form these things. So they really can't do this in themselves. As far as tolls are concerned, it may take a toll on us.
Nice point. Very clever point.
Because considering where we are currently with Lekki, but it's just something that I feel like on the longer term, when you look at how this actually just helps everybody in the picture, the companies, the people, and then the government as well.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's a win-win.
Interesting. All right. FAAC allocation 2018 countdown. The top state here that received the highest allocation was my state. But I'm in Lagos saying this, so I shouldn't be talking. But because I should be over there. But Delta State apparently got the highest cumulative FAAC allocation last year. What was the amount? 213 billion naira. Followed by Akwa Ibom, they received 202 billion. River State was in third place with 172. So those are the top three receivers of FAAC. Is there anything notable about this?
Yeah, for us, I think this the three states you just mentioned I've been enjoying. You know, I've always gotten the largest share of FAAC over the past few years.
As federal allocation, yes?
Yeah, federal allocation, yeah. And that's because they are all producing states. But I think the key thing here is internally generated revenue, and that's what singles Lagos out.
Right.
Because when you look at 213 billion, fine, it looks good. But when you factor in personal expenses and other statutory expenses, you discover these governments have little or nothing to play around with. So the key differentiation and the key thing for state here is to ensure they have enough internally generated revenue, so they don't rely solely on FAAC allocation. And a typical example is what's happening in Osun State at the moment. I think Osun State really received the lowest FAAC allocation, and that's because the internally generated revenue is very, very low, and they have very high debt burden. So I think,
quick messaging from Philip. Philip says, as a private developer, do I get a tax credit for constructing the roads, my development for the from the main or express road?
Philip, I'm not really sure about that.
Yemi says, why roll when there's already tax credit? Why toll? Okay, that's what he meant to say. Why toll when there's already tax credit? And then Yinka says, before the toll, please let the alternative routes be available. That Lekki bush path called alternative route is not it at all. If you want to get to work late, follow that route, and I think we'll celebrate you done for that.
Thank you.
And then Tony says, good morning, guys. As much as I fully support private sector driven development, where will the social contract now lie?
Good question, Tony. Good question.
And,
I think Benga asked what has Delta State done with their FAAC allocation. Benga, that's a very good question. I'm asking them as well. Valentine, we're out of time.
We're done.
We're done. Janet, great debut from you from here. I'm good to have you. Hope we'll have you in again.
Yes,
yeah. Damilola, as usual, we appreciate you coming in, man. Always.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks everybody for your messages. We'll catch you tomorrow.
All right, thank you very much. Stay tuned here to Smooth Breakfast and Smooth 98.1, because coming up next we'll give you fantastic music. Michael Jackson starts it up, and then at 7:30 we'll bring you detailed analysis of our newspaper stories inside of Freshly Pressed 91. Good morning.